Here's the setup and the execution for the middle velocity from the initial and final velocity, because it's not a very complicated lab. The ramp will be set up for you. You'll need to have at least 30 centimeters up the ramp, and you want the car to go at least 50 centimeters. The longer the distances you use, the more accurate your data will be. So I picked a distance. I'd obviously done it before. I let it go, and it went about a meter. So that would be a good place to release the car. So then I have to measure how far it is from here to where I change from sloping down to being flat. Now, you just use your best judgment. I think I talked about using this line here. If I'm doing this, it really doesn't start changing till right about here. I would probably scoop my ramp until one of these lines matches where I think the middle of going from sloping to flat is, and I put a piece of tape there, or else use the line, so it's easy to measure that with your video physics. Then you simply video physics it. You take a visual physics video of releasing the car. Group 1 needs to know this distance, and they need to measure the time from here to, I would say, right about there. Then group 2, you need to both pick the same point, so you need to mark it so everybody knows. Group 2 will take from this point to the end. Now again, you will get much better if you just release it with your fingers like I did. You'll get terrible data. So you need to either, if you want to use your finger in front of it, but you need to exaggerate pulling it away, which is what I'm going to do here in a second. Don't pick the yardstick up. Move it away fast, because when you take visual physics, it makes it obvious when you start. That will improve your accuracy. Your tricky part will be deciding exactly when it stops. That's the hard part. That's probably the biggest error in the lab. Then once you do that, both sides compute. Group 1 computes their final velocity, Group 2 computes their initial velocity, and you do a percentage difference between them. And that's all this lab requires you to do. We're going to use finding them where either V initial or V final is 0. We use that a lot to determine the other velocity. So this is a good lab to get some experience doing that with.